Alright, so it took me to the end of the week to make a video this time because it was actually a lot more difficult stuff. It was more scope of practice and reading some of the laws and different things as far as health coaching goes, which they need plain text speak for laws because legal stuff is always worded in such a way that it is confusing unless you spend 4 hours or a couple of days analyzing it to make sure that it says exactly what you think it says. Some states seem kind of like you can't say anything at all in them. Some seem like as long as you make sure that you're not claiming to be a dietitian or a nutritionist, you're okay as long as you're not doing some weird individualized thing or saying that you're practicing medicine or anything that sounds like it's prescriptive. It was definitely a little bit stressful, but we're only at the second month, so we still have a lot more to learn. I wasn't the only person freaking out, thankfully. I felt kind of weird at first because I was like, oh, this could be all because of my education level. What am I going to do? And then I saw that there's people who seem plenty educated and type really well who are also just like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know how to read these laws. And it's like, okay, so good news. We all need the health coach laws for dummies at this point because it legal documents, laws, everything, if they want the common. Oh, excuse me, I'm so dehydrated today for some reason. I'm gonna have to get some water. They write it in a way that if they expect the common person to understand it, and you have to think of, not to quote George Carlin, but George Carlin was saying, think of how dumb the average person is, and then think about how half of them are even dumber than that. I'm not out here to call people stupid. It was his quote, not mine. But people often graduating these days are graduating angry and upset that they were allowed to graduate with like a fourth grade rating level or something. It's going to be very difficult for these people who are the ones who've complained about this to actually understand legal stuff. And I'm not talking about like in health coaching, just in general. It made me really think about that. I know it's not really related, but I just wanted to share that thought with you guys because it's like, that's not good. That's not going to be good for people who are out there trying to understand their rights when the a common person is supposed to understand them, but you still need a lawyer to tell you what it says in layman's terms. So some of them were plainly worded, but some of them you definitely want to ask a paralegal, like, how should I take this, because I want to make sure that I'm understanding it right, because I am not a lawyer or a paralegal. It was I would say pretty good overall. It was one where I actually passed the quiz with less than 100%. Usually only twice have I gotten it where I either failed or got a lower score, but I actually did still get passing with like 80%. So I'm just keeping it since that was the first time I took it. I hope you guys are having a good week. I get my face tattooed in 2 weeks. So it's going to be same stuff that's already on here, but just better because my friend, the guy is my friend now who originally did this. I think he moved to Hawaii first, and then his family ended up moving to Costa Rica, and I believe he is back here now, but he doesn't really do this stuff anymore. So I found someone who has like similar work to his. Really nice lady. That's who's going to do it. So it's going to improve symmetry and shape and all those fun things. I should look almost the same, but little bit more symmetry and touched up, and stuff looking more vibrant and fresh again. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to update this week as far as just new things. I don't think there is. As far as people actually asking me, or two people asked me why did I want to go into this industry, and I figured I would briefly share, and I might elaborate on it later if people would like. One main reason was I have autoimmune diseases, 2 to 3. One we're still not sure of because after I went keto, it really improved. So we're not sure if it was RA or not because it's pretty much 100% controlled with it. Don't have any symptoms, even on keto with that one. Had to go carnivore 2.5 or 3 years ago because of psoriasis and Hashimoto's. Let's add another layer to that. I have breast implants, and those are often associated, it seems, with people who develop autoimmune conditions 10, 15, or 20 years later. I did not start really developing symptoms that made me feel sick or anything until 10 or more years later. It actually took a very long time for these to affect me this way. And I'm not a doctor, so me stating that is not me saying, and I'm not a health coach yet either. So, if I say something that's not within the scope of practice, I am not a health coach yet. I'm just a normal person right now who is in training. uh, there's just all kinds of weird connections where people get autoimmune conditions or conditions that may have an autoimmune component after they have some kind of implants or something. It seems pretty common. I know that it doesn't happen to everybody, but it seems that it does eventually happen to a lot of people. So after I get my certification in this program, even though I probably will want to start working on the business aspect of it, I am getting these removed and getting them uh, taken out, reconstruction and all that stuff so that I can start to feel better. There's a man that I recently followed. I have forgotten his name. If I can remember it, I will edit it into the description. He has an Instagram and a YouTube channel, I believe, but there are some weird things that happen when you have breast implants, and one of those things is the inability to lose weight. Like, you might not get hugely overweight, but there's some people who get a little bit overweight or a little bit towards the heavier side that they don't want to be, and then they can't lose it. I'm in that camp. I've been blaming Hashimoto's, but I'm doing all kinds of stuff, and sure, cheating once a month with standard American food, yeah, maybe that can throw it off, but I don't think it should be to the degree where I'm working out for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, eating carnivore for about 30 days straight in between cheats, and I'm not losing weight. Oh, and my hormones are all showing up as either adequate or really good. So I'm thinking that might be my problem. So as soon as I get these removed, I plan to document the whole thing, by the way. I'm going to document my whole journey. I'm going to document before, during the recovery, and then after the 6 weeks or whatever it is where you are fully recovered, and just let you guys know how it goes, because I don't know what else to try at this point. I had to kind of just look into it. And when I first got these, I didn't believe breast implant illness was a real thing, by the way. I was like, oh, these people have got to be kind of exaggerating. It can't be that bad. And just, it can't happen to me mentality. But then after I got them, the first symptoms that I developed didn't really match up to what people were saying was breast implant illness, because the first thing that showed up for me was the beginning of the psoriasis on my hands. They didn't even recognize it as psoriasis for many years. So I was like, oh, that doesn't really fit breast implant illness. And then like I said, it took like a decade for a lot of these symptoms, so I didn't really notice that it was even related until later. The only thing that sucks is I love how these look, and I'd rather not get rid of them, but at this point I have to try something to feel better, because at one point I was so tired I would not get up off my couch, because I would wake up exhausted. I was perpetually fatigued and exhausted. I had no energy for anything, and people thought I just didn't want to do stuff because I didn't know anything was wrong with me. It's like, oh, that's just how it is. No, I was too tired to move. I was too tired to brush my teeth every day or to shower every day. It was horrible. I never want to be in that position again. That was when I was on standard American food, and then at the start with dirty keto. I still kind of felt like that, but it wasn't as severe. It got a little bit better after the keto thing. And then with more strict keto, it got even better to where I was, mostly okay, like 70% okay. And then I think it got to maybe like 85% okay with just keto. And then when I went carnivore, that's when I started feeling a lot better. So I stay mostly carnivore now. I do still have occasional keto or ketovore days, and I still do once a month. I do have a cheat day or two. It's just, I like food. I like trying new things. It's just what I do. So yeah, this is a little bit longer than usual, but I don't want to keep you guys too long. I like to come on here and be real and just make it, like a vlog, person to person thing, and not be scripted or fake or anything. I just like to come on and chat. I hope you guys are doing really well. I hope if you're in my cohort of peers that your week went really well too, and that your quiz and everything went well. And I will see you guys Sunday to see what our next week's class is.